So you said
Right,
there's
there we
you're
go.
not using Tailspire today, right?
Welcome, everybody, to the Wellspring Campaign. My name is Desufire. As you can see, I have a new overlay. It looks pretty now. I made this. Props to me.
Ooh, our
Anyways,
names like fade away.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yes, welcome to the Wellspring Campaign. My name is Desufire. I am the game master for this campaign, and with me are my keepers. Say hi, keepers.
Hi,
Hello.
keepers.
Hello.
And we'll recap. Everybody's name is above them. You all know everyone's names now. You know what classes they're playing. Let's do this. I was going to say last week, but it wasn't last week, was it?
Yeah.
No.
That for a second.
So last time we gathered, our keepers found themselves surrounded by the undead in Lefton Hills. Anaria laid eyes on her mother, Aestaria, for the first time in months. Aestaria faced off against undead variants of her past scouting party, and wanting to help her, Anaria began running to her. This left Gregory and Warren alone and surrounded by undead that hit hard and some that imploded, and spreading poisonous gas. Sylfina went into ranger mode, climbing a tree and peppering down what undead she could. The situation became dire when Warren fell, Anaria's path was blocked, and Gregory faced off against numerous undead. Sylfina heard her brother Tyrell through the unknown link they've shared all their life. Lately, that link has not worked and only caused Sylfina pain when she had tried to use it. Yet here and now, his voice broke through. Sylfina, the gym, in the house. Gregory managed to get Warren back on his feet only to fall shortly after. And while unconscious, he was visited by a being of power. A being that could steer him to his life goal of bringing his sister back to life. All he had to do was worship this being, to follow a path, strange and unknown. And he said yes, and discovered that afterwards, he is now worshiping the Pantophage. From 2 death saves, Gregory stood up with newfound, maybe ill-placed faith, and the party rallied. Dispatching the last of the undead, our keepers were bruised and bloody. But during the fight, the poltergeist Frina had entered the house and now interacted with the gym. A gym similar to one that saw Perry's death. A gym that Tyrell warned Sylfina about, and a gym that Gregory wanted to study to learn its secrets. The sound of hundreds of undead throats curdling filled the air. Their footsteps heard through the village, and they were coming. It was Warren with Melf's meteor that destroyed the gem Frina held, quieting the raucous of undead cries. The village of Lefton Hills became suddenly quiet. Anaria instantly ran from the house towards where she last saw her mother. She found her speaking with the now calm ghosts of her scouting party. The rest of the party joined her as Celeste transformed out of her fox form and into her celestial form. Celeste guiding those fallen scouts to an unknown place with the promise that they'll be able to help Anaria if the time comes. Sylfina was transported elsewhere, though, in her mind, a memory buried, forgotten, a city in ruin, burning. The porcelain white hand of Celeste held out to her, the celestial's face pleading to be heard and understood. I can free you from his shackles. A woman behind Celeste who wielded a staff and orb, and a cry from behind as Sylfina's hand reached out to take Celeste, crying, "No, Sylfina!" Lefton Hills comes back into your vision. Celeste stands feet away, her eyes closed, appearing to focus on something. Though the flash is over, the memory is burned in your eyes, Sylfina. Celeste was taller. No, that's not right. You were shorter. The woman behind her, you've seen her statue in dreams. The statue missing a face, yet carrying a staff and orb. But yet in her memory, she had a face. It was sharp, then soft. Eyes of blue, then red, seeming to change. Then the yell from behind you. You know Tyrell's voice, though young it sounded. I leave it to you.
Okay. Anaria's still on her knees, right?
And Gregory's prone on the
He's
ground.
prone?
Yeah,
prone?
Why is
I
Gregory
fell over
prone?
exhausted.
I don't remember
Oh.
you being
'Cause-
prone.
You know, when the fight ended, you know, I just kind of slumped down and just fell down because
Yeah, but we already like left the house after I think you already got up and everything.
no, it was after we left the house because we were running towards Anaria's mother.
Oh,
I do recall that.
That's right.
He
I
slumped
don't. My
over.
bad.
He slumped over exhausted from the fight.
Okay. Is she still talking to her?
No, her eyes are closed, focusing on you. Missed the scouting party being carried up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when you come back from the memory, all you see is now Celeste with her arms kind of out, not like, embrace me, but more like, focusing on something with her eyes closed.
Oh, her eyes are closed. Okay. Well, Sylfina's a little confused because she obviously, these people just disappeared, but, and she's got other things going on in her head, but she's probably not going to mention it too much yet until they maybe settle down. So, trying to think. Where can we find some place to rest? Several of you need it.
I definitely need to rest, yeah.
I'm not sure.
That really took it out of me.
I had a question for DM.
Okay.
From last time when Gregory's abilities changed, after he healed us after that, would we have noticed if it felt different at all?
I'm going to say no, because you would not be familiar with how his heals felt previously.
Okay. And just remind me, was there any visual change to that transition?
No.
Okay.
Aside from him screaming no.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, Anaria is just still on the ground. Like, she's winded. She's out of breath. She's trying to, like, recollect herself, but it's not going well.
Is her mom still close to us?
She's behind Celeste.
Celeste isn't saying anything, right? She's just got her eyes closed.
Got her eyes closed.
No, and this is only like a few seconds. I'm giving you time to, what do you have we said anything? Like, what are we doing here? Doesn't necessarily have to be you. It could just be anybody. I've set the stage. You guys take it over.
Yeah. I know. I was.
All right. Gregory rolls over onto his back, gasping for breath. He's like, okay, is everything dead that's supposed to be dead?
I think so.
I think so.
We
Oh,
need to find shelter.
Absolutely.
I'm so tired of ghosts.
Aestaria agrees with that. She'll step forward and nod her head. I believe shelter will be a fantastic idea. It is dark, getting late.
Preferably one that has a roof on it, maybe.
Yes. You guys spend some time, but you do find a building. It's pretty gutted, as are most of the buildings in Lefton Hills now. But the roof looks sturdy. It's patchy here and there, a couple of holes or whatnot, but it offers shelter. And it we'll say, you know what? Let's do a luck check, see if there's an actual fireplace that would work for you or not. No, unfortunately, the fireplace is broken. So if you want a fire, you'll have to build it in the middle of the floor.
Nothing we haven't done before.
Yep, I'll go scout for some firewood.
All right, so Warren, you're going to get firewood. What else?
Yep, I'll be back, guys.
What else is everyone doing?
I'm gonna come with you. Let's stay close to the outside of the house if we can.
Okay,
think
sounds good.
While they're doing that, like we've all moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory, I'm gonna assume you're having a hard time moving right now, right?
Well, I kind of dragged myself in, but yeah, I was gonna come up to you and
Yeah.
ask if, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna set him down, kind of help him get his armor off because he's having a hard time moving in it. You know, we're both exhausted. We're just taking our time with it.
Okay. Aestaria is preparing a split roast and setting up a pot.
Oh, can I smell that from outside the house?
Well, no, there's no fire yet.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
fire
time to
yet.
get in the
We gotta
wood.
Sorry.
She's just getting
I
it
just
ready.
thought maybe it was ready already. She just pulled it out of her pack. Like,
I mean, I guess we could use some fire magic, you know.
it's fine. It's fine.
no, I don't have anything.
Am I getting the
Yeah.
good? Yeah. What kind of sticks am I finding? Hold on.
You guys have time. The village is quiet. Like the only thing you hear now are the sound of crickets. They're distant because they haven't yet come back into the village after, the undead and everything, but
Yeah.
you hear them.
What do we find outside when we're looking for wood and stuff?
Yeah, I
Unless
definitely
you
got
want
my
to try to
eyes
find
peeled.
something special, you find wood and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
then I'm bringing it back.
Wood,
Yeah, you're good.
wood,
I'm not going to make you
drivey.
roll for wood and stuff. Look, most of these buildings
No,
are
you're good.
fucked. You can
It's
walk
just
up
destroyed.
to
Yeah.
You can walk up
I
to a
was just
building
more so
and just-
asking. Yeah, I forgot the scene.
We got
Yeah,
some wood. We got some kindling.
more so asking for exposition because I didn't really know the lay of the land again. I forget.
No, that's something. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for finding wood or anything.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's easy.
Warren.
All
All right.
Warren,
Wood.
did you find anything out there?
I did. Here. And then I start bringing it over and I set it under and get it prepared.
Oh,
Let's see.
fantastic.
And,
Wood and stuff.
And this,
Wood and
I was
stuff.
and this is where I could be a cucky DM and be like, "You bring over already burnt wood. Good going, Warren." It's charred already.
I already saw this and I came prepared. I've got the actual wood in my hand.
I need a perception check for quality of wood.
It's burnable. It may be a little damp, but it's burnable. It's dry enough.
All right. Well, and then I
I
put
will
my finger
say,
at it and I'm gonna try to firebolt it.
I will say that
Wait, can I? Before you do that, I'd like to actually try and light it before you do that, Warren.
I mean, it works for
Save
that.
Save your energy, please.
I mean,
It's a cantrip, don't worry.
firebolt's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Oh,
It's a cantrip. If he
never
wasn't
mind,
gonna do
never
that,
mind. I heard firebolt. My
was
bad. Okay.
I was gonna sacred flame it if he wasn't gonna do
So-
that.
I'm
I
gonna
have a tinder
say
box in my inventory, so
Also do I.
I'm gonna say a good 40 minutes, close to an hour has passed by. Anaria and Gregory Anaria has helped Gregory, doff his armor, and it's Dawn
Takes
and
10
Doff.
minutes.
It is Doff, right? Anyways,
Yep.
Yes.
and Warren and Sylfina have gotten wood of fairly good amounts
We got
for
the fires
40 minutes or whatnot.
started and-
And Aestaria and Celeste have prepared everything for when the fire's here. And then Warren and Sylfina come back with the wood. Warren puts a decent, you know what? I'm going to make you roll for that one. How well do you set
Roll?
up this wood?
Oh.
Wait,
Okay.
me, wait.
And what is the just the D20 or is this anything
No,
specific?
give me just a
I'm
straight,
helping.
just a straight
Straight
D20.
D20.
Just a straight
Oh.
D20.
Wait, I'm
There's a
helping.
stat
What the
for
hell?
this.
Yeah, wouldn't it be survival or nature?
Survival? You know what?
no, he said straight.
Wouldn't it be
No,
survival?
the survival. Go for it. Survival.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, then
Yeah,
it changes
yeah.
an 18 to a 19.
Yeah, the metagaming owl hooted.
19 with the survival.
The DC was not hard. I mean,
It looks pristine though. I'm like, this is like a professional setup.
This is like Boy Scouts. He's learned.
he read a book and he mimicked what he saw in the book, and that's it looks good. So yeah.
Yeah, it's in Gesture Terrence. Come on.
Yeah. And then he stands up and immediately firebolts that son of a bitch, which actually has enough force to blow some of that away. But I mean, you have fire now.
We got like half of the wood we had and like a little tiny fucking flame. Like, nice going, Warren. Thank you.
No, I'll say that you can.
It doesn't say how much force it has.
I know. I will say for firebolt, you do move. It is enough that it jostles it a little bit, so it doesn't look as pristine as when it wasn't lit. But you now have a lit fire.
Nice. All right, here we go.
I gotta fuck with y'all
Please,
every
let's
now
get
and then.
dinner started.
And what's this? And I'm feeling like the spit. Okay, you got that set up. Nice.
You all see instantly, and with a mother's flourish, Aestaria is quick to get a broth going. She throws in some bones. You guys don't know where she got the bones, but there are bones.
My eyebrow lives.
Anaria or Gregory checks his pouch to make sure that
everything is still there.
Okay.
And she begins preparing a meal, putting meat on the fire to, do all that. Celeste is helping a little bit, get some vegetables prepared, stuff like that. They're working. No, you can give me an insight check. All of you can if you want.
Oh my god!
And it's for insight.
Yeah.
So
I rolled a 2, so I got an 8.
That's a nat 20.
I got 12.
I want to get all these nat 20s out of the way now. This is,
Yeah, what
Hey,
the
so
hell?
I rolled a 2,
18.
so
Dude,
yeah.
I think this dice really likes 20s. And
So
18.
Weighted.
I wonder if it's weighted.
Let's say Sylfina and Anaria. I have posed this question before in my head, but never mind.
Hey.
No, Sylfina and Anaria, you guys notice that they seem to work very well with each other. Like they've known each other for a long time. The rest of you are just like, wow, they're working really fast. So yeah. But the Aestaria and Celeste.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Nori notices she's too tired to care.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just sitting there, like almost absently, just staring into the fire.
As the meal is being prepped and cooked, does anyone want to say anything, do anything, or are we moving on?
I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna start reading a little bit from some of the tomes I have. That's about it. And then as I smell it, I say, "It smells great."
Gregory
Thank
goes
you,
over
thank
to Anaria,
Mm,
and he's like, "Anaria,
mm.
that last fight, I had it was too much weight on my armor, and I think some pieces got damaged. Would you be able to help me lighten some of this armor to
Oh,
so that way I kind of move around
take
better?"
a look at what we got left, and we'll see what we can scrap back together. We might have to collect some materials we can find around here, but I feel that's doable.
Okay, good, because I can't move very well when I'm fighting.
Yeah, we don't want you running around all easily stabbable. He pokes his arm.
That is true.
So Phil just start taking a look at his armor, kind of pulling it apart, pulling off bits that are, damaged or bad, and kind of piecing back plates and strips and stuff to fasten it into a lighter suit of probably medium armor.
Do you have any
Strip it back to
tools?
like a half plate.
What tools do you have on you?
I have both smith's tools and woodcarver's tools.
Okay. So give me a flat D20 roll with advantage and add your tool proficiency to it.
Okay.
Where do you see like your tool proficiencies?
It's just your proficiency mod.
Oh.
Tools automatically adds your proficiency modifier. Some tools actually add on top of it, but
that is a 16 plus 3, 19.
Yeah, it's fairly simple work. It's going to take you most of the night to really, but you'll be able to have him back in like a decent working armor that would be lighter by the start of the next day.
Like just in terms of item mechanics, I'm imagining she's kind of just taken off some of like the heavier shoulder pieces, shit like that, like extra plates that don't need to be there.
Yeah,
so it's going from like full plate to like let's just say like half plate.
Yeah, well, full plate with holes, basically.
Yeah, well, that's why I say half plate. That's why I say half plate.
Yeah, you're like,
I say half plate because he's missing half the plates.
Well, he said it's heavy. This pauldron is like 7 pounds, so bing! Get rid of that.
And we can talk about how you want to quantify this later. She's going to take, the pieces that she takes off of it, wrap them up, and store them in her pack.
I should really make you guys pay attention to weight here soon.
I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
So
I'm totally paying attention.
Totally paying attention. All right. So you're messing with Gregory's armor. Warren is just smelling the food. Sylfina, Gregory.
I am definitely a little more somber right now. So, just kind of thinking. My head's kind of in my the broth, my soup, whatever you want to call it. And but
good soup.
Celeste and Aestaria, they're sitting around us as well, eating, right? Or
yes.
What's Celeste doing?
They're cooking.
Okay.
Well, at the moment, we're saying it's being cooked. So right now, Aestaria is the one cooking things. Celeste is more sitting, watching.
Okay. I don't really know who else is hanging around them, but I am I've just been kind of standing around. They can tell like she's kind of been itching to ask a couple questions, but so I kind of sit next to.
Oh, you know what?
To...
I will actually roll a perception check for Aestaria against. Are you trying to hide that you're wanting to ask questions or being kind of?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
She looks like she's kind of itching to ask some things, but
that bounced out. There we go.
Cat.
And Gregory is brooding while he's watching Anaria work.
Brooding? Okay.
Yes, I'm brooding. I'm in deep contemplation.
Gregory is a brooder.
Can I roll to notice? Are you trying to hide this at all, Gregory?
Huh?
Are you trying to hide that you're doing that at all?
No, because I'm like, I'm like in my own head trying to internalize myself.
Okay.
I'm just.
Well, then I would say anybody who pays attention to Gregory would notice him brooding.
I roll bad. I'm too focused on what I'm doing.
Sylfina, you said that you were going to move over to who?
Celeste. First, at least.
Celeste.
Yeah.
So you're going to kind of just take a seat near her?
Yeah, like not right next to her, but like next to her.
Okay. That does put you close to Aestaria. So when you make that move and kind of position yourself close-ish, Aestaria looks up from, stirring and getting, what looks like it should be, just about done. She looks up and, what's on your mind, dear? Looks like you got something cooking away there.
Aestaria said that?
Yeah.
I've been seeing some things, and I just had some questions. I don't know, maybe you guys can help, but I don't know. But you seem to be the only people around here that have some idea of what's been going on.
Oh, I know nothing.
Well,
You realize that when you
not
grow up.
necessarily for the moment. Sorry, excuse me. I'm kind of talking about the past.
The past. Okay, what kind of, did you make a
Celeste?
mistake or what?
No. Celeste, can I ask you something?
Celeste looks at you and nods, but it's not like a human nod. It's more of a, she's expecting you to just ask, kind of like go on kind of thing, kind of
Cool.
motion.
Okay. Have I met you before? Like, let's say when I was young or something? Do you recognize me at all?
She cocks her head and really looks at your face, and I don't believe so.
I'm definitely scratching my forehead at that one.
Why do you ask?
I feel like I've had memories with you in them, and I'm not quite sure where they've come from.
Can you describe these memories? What was going on?
It seemed you outstretched your hand towards me, and you offered me help.
I offered you
And
help.
yeah, and I just know it has something to do with the woman with the orb. Do you know anything about her?
The woman with the orb
Yes, and the staff.
and the staff. Um, she ponders it for a moment, and then she looks at you. She's been looking at you, but now you see her stare kind of intensify a little bit, almost to the scary level, but not at that point yet.
Like eyebrows furrowed kind of thing?
No, more of a look of, you recognize that this is a very powerful being that you're talking to that could probably end you in an instant. Kind of scary, you know.
Okay. I feel small all of a sudden, really.
So she gives you that kind of look, and then when I offered help, did I say anything?
You offered to free me from his shackles. I'm not quite sure who you were referring to, but I have an idea.
She blinks a couple of times, and her mouth opens and closes a few times while she's doing this. It's a very human gesture from a celestial to do.
For words, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And Aestaria quickly reaches out and touches her arm. It has been a long night. I suggest we hold off on this until after we eat. And that gives you time to think. And when she says think, you see Celeste register. Yes, think. Okay. That kind of, like, her features soften a little bit.
My eyes are bouncing back and forth in between these two.
Anything else before we eat?
I will take that as my cue that she obviously does not want to talk about it at this moment, but I am definitely clocking Celeste's reaction, at least.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm not going to make you roll for it. I'm going to say that because it was pretty much over her, like across her face. It's not that she doesn't want to talk about it. You got the feeling that she doesn't know how to talk about it at this moment without going physical.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just clock her reaction then.
Yes.
And I will drop it there for the time being.
Okay. Anyone else? The silence.
Working away in the
I
corner.
was going to say, silence says no. We eat.
No, I'm all good.
we spend time eating. She dishes out a very lovely stew, with a broth and whatever. It's travel food, but it doesn't taste like travel food because Aestaria has cooked a lot in her life and she knows how to make travel food taste good. Part of her skill is being a captain. And then belly's full, food eaten, time to think past. Celeste, long done eating. Didn't really eat a lot. You wouldn't know if that is whether she doesn't have to eat or if she was too busy thinking how to explain things or, stuff like that. All of you gather around this fire, sitting cross-legged, comfortable, whatever, however you want to sit. Celeste returns into her fox form and looks at Aestaria and nods and says, I have thought. I am calm. And Aestaria, then please answer her question.
Is everyone around at this point now?
Unless someone tells me they've gotten up and walked away, everyone's around everyone's around the fire listening.
We're all here.
Everyone heard the first conversation.
I mean, it's not.
It's fine. No,
it's not a walled house or anything, so everyone heard. Celeste looks at you, Sylfina. What you described was close to the end. I believe you'll understand better if I tell you how we got there.
Okay.
My brothers, sister, and I were once gods. Though I don't remember much of that time. I do remember centuries ago, a church of this plane managed to cross into our plane and beseech us. She looks over at Aestaria and says, I should explain planes. And Aestaria, no, that'll confuse and just raise more questions. Just continue. Oh, okay. I recall that many ignored their pleas. Planes fall and are remade many times. It's a folly of mortals. Harold, his name wasn't Harold, but Harold listened and understood the danger. It wasn't that it was just this plane that was in danger. It was every plane that was in danger. His argument was sound, but he was only able to convince 4 of us. And so we went against the wishes of the majority. We left our home, and in doing so, lost memories and power. It was taken by those who disagreed with our decision. Granted, we did still have much power, though the majority of what we did have was used in our fight against, you called it the Pantophage? And Aestaria nods. It's a fitting name. At first, we dealt with its army. They were simple undead creatures. At the time, they posed us no hardship. Yet, amongst the army, we found demons and devils. We managed to destroy the army, including those demons and devils, with the help of the people of this plane. Back then, they had a tremendous sense of faith. Not just faith in us, but faith in a lot. And it's a faith that I've noticed isn't present now. That's my brother's doing. And Aestaria looks and, well, he didn't help the situation. Okay.
She's not wrong.
The people here were very knowledgeable in Arcana. Enough so that they had crafted, what did they call it? A device. It was a dangerous tool, but it was a necessary one. And they called it anti-magic generator. History checks.
Yep. Thank you.
Except for Gregory, because he wasn't present.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was your other character.
That's a 16.
Plus 4, that's also a 16.
16, Sylfina?
10.
10. Sylfina doesn't ring a bell. Anaria and Warren, anti-magic does ring a bell. Specifically for Anaria, because your father made an anti-magic generator for Wit and Mirrodin, and that's why they had kidnapped him. Well, they had kidnapped him and forced him to make this. And you guys actually found plans on how to make it. You probably still have those plans. And you also found a map. Well, it wasn't really a map. It was like blueprints of a bridge that had one of these devices like in it.
Mm-hmm.
Celeste continues. They had built this. They had built this device, 2 of them. No, it was. I believe they explained it as it was 2 tools coming together as one device. It was a clever idea. They built one into each bridge of Aurora. We only
What
need.
of Aurora?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, I coughed. Each what of Aurora? Sorry.
Bridge.
Bridge.
Bridge, okay.
We only needed to charge and activate them. The battle took days, but we were able to clear the Western Bridge. Sorry, I keep having to think of the world map in my directions when I do this. We were able to clear the Western Bridge of Aurora and enter. We only needed to, sorry, the battle took days, but we were able to clear the Western Bridge and enter Aurora. And that's where we met the Pantophage for the first time. And here she, locks eyes with you, Sylfina. All of you speak of the Pantophage as being a single being, when in fact it was 2.
What?
It was 2 elven children. We were reluctant to fight, but we did. The memory you described was after you released a fire magic that covered all of Aurora.
What?
My sister saw it first. You seemed to change after that spell. Something that changed you to him had weakened from the expulsion of so much arcana. And in that moment, I did not see an enemy. I saw a child that I could help. I still had enough power to walk to take you somewhere safe. and you took my hand. And at this, you actually see like her fox eyes beginning to water. You put trust into me. I took your hand and I walked. But he did something. And I'm sorry, child. I walked, but when I stepped, you were ripped away. And she stops, and all of you hear a sound that probably none of you heard, and it's the sound of a fox crying.
Ooh, my throat is getting tight.
Aestaria reaches over and kind of gently grabs a tuft of fur, trying to pet, and you hear Celeste mumble, I don't like human emotions. I don't like human emotions. I know. I'm sorry. I know. Aestaria will look up.
Am I still next to Celeste?
If you'd like to be next to Celeste, yes.
I'm like, can I very slowly put my hand on her, like on her back? I'm not really gonna like pet her or anything like that because Sylfina doesn't really know too much affection wise, but like I feel like she would feel some sort of need to soothe her, I guess.
You're doing this to soothe her, to comfort her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you reach out, you put a hand on her. Her fur is extremely soft. Like
Ooh.
no right a fox's fur should be this soft. But you also feel that for a moment it does prickle a little bit.
Okay.
But then it eases and becomes soft again. Aestaria will look up. She is new to human emotion. I think I can finish for her if you have more questions.
Who is the woman with the orb?
That would be her sister.
Her siblings? Okay.
That is Melora.
Oh, okay.
Everyone but Anaria hears bell chimes.
Oh. Okay.
I think through this entire conversation, Inari's been across the fire from them, just kind of quietly looking at the fire. And when she mentions Melora's name, that's like the first time she kind of looks up and acknowledges the conversation.
Okay. And you'll notice that Aestaria is looking at you.
What?
Any other questions?
I have one more.
Okay.
Do you know anything about a sword with blue fire?
That was his weapon. And she kind of leans. You see her lean a little closer to Celeste, as if trying to listen for something. The boy that was with you.
What about the boy that was with me?
Well, she doesn't know her name. She doesn't know his name. But the boy that was with you when you accepted her hand, the sword with blue fire was a weapon that he wielded. It was a dangerous weapon. It seemed to not cut flesh, but cut soul.
Are you saying he was? Ooh, okay. She's like trying to get the words out. She doesn't know what to say, but
I'm gonna guess his sword didn't leave physical wounds.
From what I am seeing, no, it did not. That's a very dangerous weapon.
is that the same
It
thing
is,
as the
and
dagger?
they've been trying to make more of them.
More? Who? No, you know what? I know who. Okay. More reason to kill him. Thank you. Um,
Who was making you? Like,
that would be Mirden, child. Sorry, Sylfina. I know your name, Sylfina. That would be Mirden, Sylfina.
Yes, the one who's been behind all of
sorry, I was
this.
thinking something else. So, Sylfina's very confused and not.
Would she recognize your confusion? Yeah, because she grew up with she raised a teenage daughter. What are you confused about? I can see it written all over your face.
Mostly the boy. If it's who I think it is, I've been talking to him all my life without knowing who it is.
At this, you all notice that Celeste has kind of quieted down, and at this, she peeks back up again. Doesn't really move her head, doesn't, like shoot up or anything, but it speaks again. You've been in communication with him?
Sort of. I've never met him, but we share a connection, and I'm actually able to talk to him sometimes in my head, which I haven't told many people because that sounds nuts.
Oh, no, not nuts. I share a connection with my sister,
Less crazy than you think.
but okay. So he's alive.
From what I can tell, if that's him, yes.
Oh dear.
Are you saying that's
I don't know how dangerous he can be alone. After I walked and you were ripped away from me, I was able to maintain my connection with my sister. With you removed, the boy's power was diminished, but he was still strong and he wielded that sword. Harold and Cedric and Deidre managed to push him past where we needed to push him over the eastern bridge, the tubular bridge. That was where the second anti-magic device was. Malora was able to charge it and activate it, but before the device took hold, the boy attempted to flee through a portal, and that's when Harold stepped in front of him. He had stabbed Harold. Harold was able to hold on to him to prevent him from fleeing. And then the field spread and reached the boy. His power ripped from him, scattered. And Melora exhausted so much of her power, but she held that scattering of him. And that's that black, what did you call it? The Borealis.
yeah.
But we don't know who the boy was. We didn't know who any of you were. We only knew you as you were the threat. You were the danger to all planes of existence. But only together. And she cocks her head. You don't have an aura anymore.
Don't?
You know you don't.
I don't remember since when. That's why.
You saw it last
I
time
probably
you
have
used the
it written
glasses
down
and
somewhere.
checked
It's
auras.
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
You haven't had an aura since Wit stabbed you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Sylfina would know this.
Yeah. I have it written down, so it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that affect anything?
I mean, she made that statement. Like, you don't have.
I know. That
an aura.
was Sylfina talking.
Oh, what'd you say?
Does it affect anything?
That's the reason I didn't recognize you. Your aura was recognizable.
Can auras be stolen?
Not to my knowledge. The only time everything has an aura until it's not needed.
Mm.
That would mean you died.
I did.
And she looks at you and very quickly, and before you could even react, before you even could register what was going on, your hand goes from petting fur to petting skin as she shifts and grabs your face, not forcefully or hurtfully, but grabs your
Like grandma's
face.
cheeks cut.
Well, full hand, like her hands are
Okay.
around your head, and pulls you close to her face. And she looks at you, and her eyes are like just swimming pools of like space, and you kind of lose yourself in them a little bit.
I was gonna say I'm definitely staring at them.
And then
What are you doing?
And then she looks directly at you, Anaria, and asks, "What did you do?"
Whoa!
I did
All
nothing.
of you, all of everyone else hears bells and chimes when she asks this question, though.
I respond in kind. I did nothing.
Not you. You. And you get this feeling of a sister who did something, shouldn't really have done it, but she's not going to say what she did. You know?
Of course. We're alike that way.
She hands around Sylfina. Oh, you...
What?
Aestaria,
What is it?
I need to calm. And she releases you, Sylfina.
What is
And
it? What?
My sister, ever so powerful, I will help you. Maybe. I need to figure out how to undo what she did.
Undo what? So, please tell me something.
I don't have the words to explain to you what she did. Yet. Please give me some time.
Okay.
Thank
that
you.
hurts, but I will.
She goes back into fox form and actually walks off and goes outside and away.
I'm just gonna stare at the bottom of my bowl. Thinking.
Aestaria looks at Anaria and kind of cocks her head and, so, Melora, huh?
It would seem so, yes.
Oh. And when did that happen?
I don't know. When did whatever you have going on happen?
Oh, about a week after I left.
That's it?
Yeah.
You seem to know an awful lot before you left.
Well, don't you know an awful lot more?
I do now, after having people that I care about me killed over and over, although I suppose we're both similar that way.
Oh.
Like-
So let me ask you, when are we going to stop hiding things from each other?
When you stop hiding things from me.
Are you talking? I can see his mic going off, but I don't hear anything.
Oh.
I don't even know where to begin.
Oh, there you are.
Are you aware that father was almost killed?
No, I was not. Is that why you're out here?
Well, he was. It's part of the reason. Although I suppose if you look on paper, a reason for being out here is a mithril shortage.
A mithril
But-
shortage.
But, you know, to be honest, I don't think that's really important right now.
No, that would be important to your father, actually.
It would be, yes.
Love that man.
That's cute.
Okay. And so he two birds, one stone. Yes, go investigate. I need mithril. By the way, your mother. I'll hurt him when I get home. Okay.
You wouldn't have needed my encouragement to come out here. I would have done it anyways.
Well, it is good to see you. I am happy to see you, and I'm happy to see that you're strong enough to be here.
As much as I would like to say that it is with my own strength that I'm here, it's not, as you've obviously noticed.
Oh, I mean, as you can see, I too need help. Everyone always needs help. It's strength. It's strong to know when to admit it and accept it. Though I am a little jealous that she accepted you and not me. So I'll have to ask her about that if I ever see her again.
Good luck with that. If she talks to you as much as she talks to me, you're not going to get much information out of her.
Oh, still a quiet one. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got the better deal with her sister.
That I'll agree.
This is really good stew.
Thank you.
I fucking love that.
Thank you.
Yes.
The broth was rabbit bones. The meat, best not to tell you where that came from. But it's healthy. It's not going to poison you or anything. You're good.
I'm sure I've had
Okay.
worse.
I suggest, if we can, it is quite late. Let's get some shut eye, and we'll start the day fresh, and figure out where we're going.
I'm not quite ready to sleep yet, so if everyone wants to sleep off, I can just watch for a little while.
I will say, while you were speaking with her and getting a good look at her through the fire, with the light of the fire and everything, she stayed in her armor. She never took it off or anything. You'll notice that it's the metal is recognizable to you. It's familiar. It looks almost like the stuff that Wolfram from Kilnsworth was tinkering with, but it's like you can tell it's actually like metal now. It's not like all flimsy and soft and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, she stands up and starts getting a ruffling through her belongings and getting a bag out and begins setting up to sleep.
Warren, did you hear any bells?
Lots of them.
Is there a church around here?
Yeah, that whole conversation was in Celestial, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, so we knew the bells were coming from these two kind of.
Yes.
Like...
Oh, yeah,
yes.
we were yelling at each other, and all you guys were hearing were like chimes and bells.
Chimes, bells, yes.
Wait, and me too? So
yes, you too. Yep.
Wait, so how much do I know of actually what she told me? Wait, hold on.
Oh no, when she talked to
I wrote down
you,
a whole paragraph.
When she talked to you, you understood.
Okay, cool.
So unless I told you specifically, all you heard was bells. But that whole conversation, pretty much between Anaria and Aestaria, was celestial.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All the subtitles were in wingdings.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think Anaria's still a little bit kind of angry right now, so she's, before going to bed, also gonna get up and go outside and kind of try and clear her head.
Yeah.
Just quiet, listen to the nature around her. If she so deems herself to speak, she's going to try and attempt to communicate with Melora.
Okay.
But if not, she's just calming herself.
What is it that you say to Melora to try to get her to communicate?
So every time she's gotten any form of communication, verbal or not, in the past, it's been, she's noticed there's been the habit of like communicating through the wind, stuff like that. So I think she's going to kind of just listen for that, listen to the movement of the wind, and trying to think of the way to explain this. Like, she's gonna look for the presence in it if it's there, and just I guess attempt to say hello.
Okay.
She doesn't really know how to start this conversation. But
no, this is interesting.
She's kind of seeking guidance.
Give me.
And I guess she's trying to convey that without
I'm like,
words.
roll? Is she showing up or not?
Give me. This would not be religion. Give me. You know what? Let's go with your warlock stat. So give me a charisma roll.
Ooh.
Okay, I got a DC. Give me a charisma roll.
19.
Okay. Makes sense. You are pacted with this being. You felt, well, not just felt, you feel what her magic feels like, what her raw arcana, her raw ether is made of. Maybe not made of, but you know the feeling of it. And as you quiet yourself, listening to the wind, you blink a little bit, and as you blink, you begin feeling her everywhere. And you notice that when you focus on a tree that is long dead, even that tree has a spark of her power. The grass that you sit on has a spark of her power. Every blade, every petal that has fallen from a flower has a spark. And you reach out and feel all of these sparks, and you kind of get that holy shit moment of I you pacted, you bonded with something that is everything, or at least has feelers and everything. And the amount of power that it would take to like put a signature on everything, the patience, the time, you know, is unfathomable to you. But with that knowledge, you also kind of get the confirmation that when you do want to reach out to her, it's not something that you necessarily have to work hard to do internally. You just have to put it out there, and she'll grab it and take it. And might take some time to reach her, but she'll get it. Or you can struggle and do it the very hard way and try to do it internally.
I think
Choices.
Feeling that
It's like FedEx or snail mail.
She's attempting to hit the express delivery box and it's not working. I think kind of feeling that she's just she has an idea that she's going to just throw her words out there into the wind. But like the idea in the back of her mind, she's spent a good chunk of her life studying the primordial magics, the runic magics of the giants, which in some circles is foundational to the structure of magic and the way things work. So in giant, she's just gonna start speaking out loud, just getting her thoughts out there, just talking to nature and hoping that nature responds.
Anything specific, or you're just kind of speaking random thoughts kind of thing?
I think at first it's kind of just random thoughts. Like she's initially kind of out loud going over the things that have happened, as if she's kind of trying to catch somebody up on the things that have happened. And at some point, she'll kind of get lost in her own thoughts, and then just stop. And after a moment of silence, she just says, after everything, I feel like I need to apologize. I've been desperately, almost brutishly, trying to reach out, figure out who you are and what you are and everything that's going on. And I even I gave you my soul without a single consideration, greedily grabbing at power, but I never asked you what you want. Or with the things that are going on, what needs to be done. So I ask now, what do I need to do? I've met your sister, and she's given us answers to some questions, but it raises even more, and I think we're all a bit lost. So I guess I'm looking to. I would like to get to know you in whatever way you'll give me. Not to get power out of you, but because I want to know who you are. And what is important to you. And then she'll just remain silent and just listen.
Okay. Um, the time goes. Occasionally you hear like a breeze pick up, and you begin to realize that you're sitting there, and every odd sound is, ooh, was that the answer? No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was that? No, it's just a cricket. Nothing seems to have changed. Um, and you don't really get any feelings. It's weird. It might be weird for Anaria. You'd have to tell me if it was or not, but it's you kind of opened your soul, like you opened up to this being who has heard you before and has given responses in some form or another, and now it's just quiet. You have no idea if she heard you.
Lovely.
I think to her that's not a weird feeling.
Okay.
She's spent plenty of her time as a kid, like having having thoughts and opinions about things, but because of external circumstances, whether it be her parents or her friends, she's had to remain silent about it. So in this moment, like, the silence, it's not uncomfortable, but she thinks she understands the silence and is okay with that right now. Whether she got actual words back out of this, she just needed to get things off her chest. So she'll go back in and get ready for sleep.
Was Anaria sitting on the grass while she did this?
I would have said at first she was probably standing.
Okay.
And then as time went on, she would have sat down and settled.
Okay. As you get up from sitting on the grass in order to move back inside, you don't know when she got there, but you see Celeste. Not next. She's not like next to you. She's good 5 feet or so. She's just kind of off to the side, and she looks at you not in a hateful way, not in a sorrowful way. She just kind of looks at you in a knowingly way. If you can kind of read what a fox's knowingful way looks like.
Eyes can tell a lot.
And the only thing she says is, that's about the answers that I get from her as well sometimes. And she too will start heading back in after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll go in. She'll journal in her book for a bit and then go to bed.
Okay.
Not really.
Have you finished my armor yet?
It's over there in the corner.
Oh, okay. That looks pretty good.
Well,
works.
During that time, Gregory, Warren, Sylfina, Anaria has gone outside. Celeste has gone outside. Aestaria is setting up her bedrolls. The 3 of you want to do anything?
Probably gonna chill until everyone went to bed.
Man, you guys are missing out on opportunities to gossip.
I don't think Sylfina's in quite a very talky mood right now, so can't help it.
In that case, Aestaria is setting up her bedrolls, the 3 of you will suddenly hear her say, and she's looking down, she's not looking at any one of you in particular, but she'll say, "Well, you're a new one. When did you join the group?"
I showed up before we came out here to search for the mithril that's drying up.
Oh, what's your name? I'm Aestaria. I'm her mother.
Aestaria. I'm Gregory.
You know Astaria's name. You know her legend, the Star Blessed, all of it. Yeah. So you're kind of
Gregory.
You're kind of starstruck. You're kind of starstruck here.
Gregory.
Yeah. No. My mom is Mary. She works at the what would you call it? The healing
I love the
place.
stuttering.
And
Mary.
Mary. That's my mom.
I don't know a Mary. But
well,
I don't know a lot of. You said you worked at the MRI.
Yeah. I worked at the MRI under my mother, Mary, and she doesn't know I'm out here right now, but that's okay. Don't tell her.
Okay, a DM question specifically for the player playing Gregory. Are you calling your mom Mary because you're acting like Gregory is nervous, or do you just flat out forgot what your mother's name was? Because it was not Mary.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh well, then I have it in my notes wrong.
Yes,
Wow.
your mother's name is Nerveni.
Oh, that's right.
Is that her real name, Nervini
I didn't
Mary?
change that.
It's your
Can I
mother's a
change it?
halfling named Nerveni.
Oh, wait, edit.
I mean, if you want to change it to Mary,
I just
I'm just confused. I'm like, he's playing this off as like, he's calling his mom by a different name. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. But then you kept saying it. I'm like, does he not realize? Like, he forgot her name, didn't he?
New cleric who dis.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so like, so on the when I go to edit the page, it's Mary, but then on my actual character sheet, it actually says Nirvani. Okay, that's my bad.
Okay.
Look in a different spot, you get a different answer, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, no, my mom's Nirvani. She works at the MRI.
Your sister's name wasn't Mary, was it?
No, her name was Heather.
Heather, that's right. Okay. All right.
Oh my god.
Nerveni. Okay. So let's kind of retcon a little bit of this.
Oh, he's back to being my favorite. I love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
She kind of pauses a little bit, setting up. Oh, Nerveni. Oh, yes. I actually happen to know her quite well. How has she been?
Yeah. Oh, she's doing pretty good. Yeah, she's probably still looking for me though. So if you go back to town, don't tell her I'm out here. I got to talk to her when
I get
back.
She dead stops and looks and now she actually looks at you. She doesn't know you're out here, does she?
Yeah, no, not really. We
We
kind of had a difference of opinions, and then I met this group, and they were leaving town, and I thought my mom's opinion could calm down for a while, so I went with them, and so then I left.
And now you're asking me that if I do happen to run into her, to lie for you.
No, don't lie. Just don't mention I was around.
So admit the truth.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
At least to lie.
At least until I talk to my mom. I don't want to.
I don't know where my daughter. I don't know where my daughter finds friends like you. I'll never understand it.
Damn.
This one is fine. She's like a sister. Okay, that one is always quiet and eating. Where's the other one? Didn't you guys have another elf? Perry was his name, right? Where's Perry at?
Yeah.
I would say this would
Unfortunately,
probably be about the time when Anaria and actually no, more time would have been passed with you guys out there. So okay, yeah, no, it's still just the four of you.
Unfortunately, he passed before we came to you. Actually.
Oh.
Not that long ago.
Oh.
His ash.
It's very recent.
The ashes are still warm.
Well,
Okay, I don't know what that.
Well, we
shit.
set a fire. That thing burned hot for a while.
And what of
it's true.
And what of the other guy that always wanted this? He had this look like if he could steal the money out of my pockets, he would.
The scaly one?
Yeah.
Stabbins?
Tieflings aren't scaly.
Stabbins, yes.
I thought he was the.
Yeah, Stabbins actually didn't. I think he actually defined himself having some scales on his arm, didn't you?
Think so. That was a while ago.
I thought
It has been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. Anyways,
Must have been a skin condition.
we can just call him the horny one because he's got horns.
Yeah.
Oh, that tracks.
In
multiple ways.
But yeah, no, she asked about Stabbins.
He also did make it a while back.
So you have lost 2 companions.
2
That-
comrades, yes.
That makes her comment. That makes much more sense what she said then. Okay. Yeah, you guys have had it rough.
Well, yeah. Well, I only lost one. Stabbins was dead before I met them. Actually, they brought him to me because
because you worked at the MRI.
Yeah, because I worked at the MRI. So
and then that's where they met you because they were bringing Stabbins' body. God, okay. This has kind of turned awkward. I'm going to go back to setting up my bedroll. I would suggest you guys do the same. And she continues working on her bedroll.
Scoff at that because what the hell? And then
at what point do I walk in?
Well, you said that you kind of, I would say this happened like shortly after you walked out. So probably be another, I don't know. How long did you sit out there waiting for an answer? I mean, I kind of I see Anaria as being one of those stubborn ones where it's like, 10 minutes might be long enough for most people, but
I was thinking she was there for like half an hour.
Yeah, she'd be out there for like 30 minutes just waiting, going, "You're not going to fucking answer me, are you?" You know, that kind of. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you and Celeste don't. Celeste enters first, but this is a good. I would say this is probably 25, maybe 30 minutes after this whole awkward conversation just ended. So, yeah.
I pick up a rock and cast light on it, throw it in the corner of the room.
So that's what Gregory does when you walk in.
Yeah.
And then asks about the armor.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the corner. It's ready for you.
Okay, thank you.
Does the room like feel tense, awkward? Like what's the feeling in here, other players?
I would say when you walk in, Aestaria has already finished getting her bedroll and a second down, and she's like not in the roll, but she's on it, and it looks like she's just kind of, what would she be doing? She'd be reading. Your mom's a reader. So she's reading a book.
Well, that's where I get it from. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, that tracks. Definitely don't get it from Dad. Okay. To bed.
So nothing else from anyone?
I'm good. Sylfina was planning on taking first watch.
Okay, you take first watch.
She's not tired yet. Yeah, I said it earlier. I don't know if anyone heard me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I did.
So
I did.
Sylfina will be taking first watch. Does anyone else want to join Sylfina?
I can join.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, when you're saying
wow, I have plans. Damn it.
when you're setting
You've been here the whole night.
When you're setting up watch, it's best for
I will
best
ask.
with 2 people.
I know. All right. Fine.
But I mean, yeah, I fucking RP it, Warren. You're like, I'll watch with you.
I'll watch with you. Yeah.
My eyes squint. I'm like,
Give me an insight check,
Unless you
Warren.
don't want me to.
Oh, there you go.
It's not that I don't mind that. I mean, it's fine. We can just watch on opposite sides. I'd like a little bit of
Oh, okay.
kind
I'll
of
practice
thing.
my lute by myself then.
We'll be close. I'll be close to you, just taller.
Okay. I'm gonna practice my lute then.
Astaria closes her book and says, "I will take second. Just wake me when it's time," and then puts the book down and rolls over.
Okay.
Perfect. Sounds great.
I would like to pretty much. I kind of wanted to practice a little bit. I know me and Anaria practice, but I kind of just after our last fight, Sylfina has had some, new thoughts as far as about, fighting style goes, and she realizes there's been some issues with, how she has been working it because she's mostly been working alone, so that's just how she is. But so yeah, she wants to kind of work on her dagger stuff a little bit, just as she's keeping an eye out.
So both you and Warren walk outside. Warren, you post up at the door, and Sylfina walks to the other around the house to the other side.
Something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I need both of you to give me perception checks.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 plus 8.
Okay.
Mine's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. The night progresses. So Warren, you said that you were working on your lute?
Correct.
Okay. Sylfina, you work now. When you say you wanted to work on your fighting style, is this towards?
This is me RPing out my level up.
Gotcha.
So I mean, she'll probably continue to do this for several days, couple weeks, So, but yeah.
You leave the bow behind and instead choose a dagger. Something you've carried for a while, but nothing. It hasn't been the weapon that your muscle memory would reach for.
No, but I have been working on a little bit of closer combat with Anaria. Actually, I believe I was using the dagger with Anaria.
You have been, yes, for strength.
Yeah. So I've been a little more familiar with it, but now I'm using both of them to practice right now.
Okay.
Toothpick.
Cool. The night progresses. Nothing interesting happens on your watch. It is time to wake Aestaria for second watch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of coming back around the building. I'm obviously built up a sweat a little bit, but walk past Warren, kind of signal him it's kind of our time to go to bed, and when he gets settled,
okay, perfect. You hear me finishing a song?
Have you gotten some good practicing?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm making good progress on at least one song.
He's got the level in it. He's made enough good rolls that he can just pick up a lute, and everything just sounds good now. I hate to say it. I really want to torture this man, but every time I'm like, I want you to fuck up this lute, he's like, nat 20. I'm like, all right, you know what? You nail it. Fuck it. I'm done making you roll for it.
Can I get up and take second watch as well?
You could say I kind of just wake you up as I'm waking your mother up.
I mean, it would be kind of second nature. You normally, Sylfina usually takes first watch, and Anaria does normally take second watch. So Sylfina does normally wake you up.
Maybe I just woke you up out of habit. You didn't even think about it.
Out of habit, you just kind of wake. Yeah.
Okay, it's time. Okay. By the way, Warren, your D string's out of tune.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll see if I can fix that.
I'm gonna roll my eyes and
I'll take watch.
You hear Aestaria kind of roll over and say, "That is out of tune as the throat of that man. I don't like him." And she'll get up and kind of stretch a little bit and walk outside.
Okay.
Perception checks.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I just sleep.
Yeah, you're asleep. What are you doing?
Well, I was gonna say, I rolled that one. Well, yeah, you're sleeping, so.
Yeah.
I rolled right now just to see what I would have gotten, and I did roll in that one, so I was like, damn, we went from
Yeah, you're sleeping.
20 to a 1.
15.
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
15. Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. The night progresses. And during the night, the wind blows.
Bandits. Oh.
And every time the wind blows, you happen to catch yourself. Like, what was that? No. Why am I even looking for this anymore? Kind of thing,
Oh God, the paranoia setting in.
Was that the answer? No, that's but no, nothing interesting happens.
At some point, she realizes she's being paranoid about it, and she just goes and just starts doing like patrol laps around the building to occupy her mind.
As after about the 4th lap, you happen to walk past your mother again, and she chuckles a little bit.
What?
Quite a lot on your mind, huh?
You could say that.
I heard about your 2 friends. I am sorry.
I suppose it's the nature of the job.
I really did not want you to have that experience.
Well, I think whether I had become a scout like I wanted to or not would have happened eventually.
Yeah.
Which, actually, I don't think we actually fully caught you up to speed on everything.
Well, nothing going on now.
Well, I don't know how else
I'm going to stab your new friend.
Which one?
It snores really loud.
Your new friend, the one in the armor, Gregory, I believe is his name. And she reaches a hand out, and as she reaches the hand out, she like grabs thin air, but then extracts a blade from thin air. I'm going to kill him.
Can I at least get a reason why?
I don't like snoring. I beat it out of your father. I don't want to beat it out of him. It's not my place.
Oh, but it's your place to murder him?
You're asleep. Shush.
I know.
I think like at first she was like taking this 100% seriously, like, oh, this guy's in danger. And then when she goes to that, she's like, okay, I get it.
She sees that you get the joke and kind of inserts the blade into the air, lets go, and the blade vanishes.
That's a neat trick there.
Yes, that's learned that from my hometown.
Your hometown?
Yeah, it's how do I explain it? It's bound to me. Well, they both are.
Your hometown is bound to you.
No, my swords. Well, I mean,
I gathered
the
that, yes.
hometown is bound to me as well. I mean, it's your hometown, aren't you bound to Aurora?
I mean, in a fundamental sense, yes.
I'd like to take you
Feels
to
like
my.
that's so every day, but you know,
I would like to take you to my hometown at some point.
that
So,
would be nice. I'd like to know where I come from.
well, you come from Aurora, but I understand what you. I understand what you're saying.
Let's be honest. The majority of people in this world don't come from Aurora. I'm an oddity in that regards.
Well, you know, you have some giant in you. You know that.
Yes.
Your uncle's still. Well, would he be your uncle? Yeah, he'd be your uncle. Your uncle's still alive.
I don't know. You tell me.
Honestly, like out of character, I really your grandpa's brother.
Great uncle.
Great uncle?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
believe so, yeah.
So your great uncle is still alive.
Okay. Like, are we talking like, because I'm genuinely curious about this, like lifespans here? Like, you and I both know that Father's probably going to outlive us. Like,
Oh, by far.
yeah, like, whoa, we're just talking ordinary humans here, yes?
Oh no. Your great uncle is like half giant, more giant than
Oh.
half. Yes, your grandfather was the same.
That explains a thing or two, actually.
I came out as a surprise. I am quite small from where I'm from.
So, I've had this. I don't know if it's a surge of strength I've been able to do or what you'd call it, that for a while I've been able to do. A surge of strength. And I don't know if it's a byproduct of selling my soul or whatever. When I do it now, I get big.
Oh. You
Yeah.
Okay. Are you wearing your armor right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Your armor has etchings, right? Runic etchings from your
On the
class?
blade and on the, I think she switched it to her shoulder pauldron at some point. Yes.
Okay. She's pretty astute, but I am going to roll to see if she clocks that or not.
Ooh.
I don't remember what her. Would it be insight? No, it wouldn't be insight. It would be perception. I do remember what her.
I'd say perception.
Oh yeah, she clocks that. Okay. She kind of points. She points to it and she goes, "Well, this explains a little bit. You've kind of Did you teach yourself how to do this rune?
For the most part, I show her the fire rune on my sword,
Yeah.
the cloud rune on my armor, and I also take out my little bag of like river stones that I have that have a bunch of the other kind of runes inscribed on them.
Okay. She like almost like a I wouldn't say like an overproud mom, but she is kind of gleeful when she sees all of this because she's all like, she keeps picking it up and she'll pick some of it up, or she'll look at the pauldron and be, your great uncle would die out of this. Is good. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's etched in perfectly, and I don't see like you made this rune. That's the way it's supposed to look, and it's not weak. It's strong. You did a good job. And you taught yourself. So you embraced your
I had a lot
heritage.
of time on my hands. I guess the heritage makes sense. I don't know what struck me to research it when I had time at the library and somehow managed to find old writings about it, but
Oh, they always did say giant's blood is strong, strong like rock. I never understood that, but that's what they always said. That was just one of those things. Strong like rock. Okay.
I could say it feels right.
Me, I did not. I didn't choose that route. Instead, I went more of the. I was. It was probably. It's probably why I was attracted to your father. I was always. I was always in the need for weapons that I could keep off of me and
Hmm.
somewhere else. And
I get that. It is convenient inconvenient, sorry, to have to lug this freaking massive thing around everywhere.
yeah, that looks heavy.
You know, I've learned how to make do with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything heavy needs to be used purely by raw strength of muscle. You know, you can use the weight to your advantage to throw it around.
No, I saw you fighting off some of that undead when I could. You handle yourself quite well.
I mean,
Actually,
I'm the only real heavy hitter here. I've kind of had to learn how to do it.
well, all four of you handled yourselves quite well. You're still alive. Most people would have either run away in terror or,
Mhm.
let's face it, they just wouldn't be here with us anymore.
We've seen our fair share of less than pleasant things, which, as I was saying, I was going to bring up earlier. There's 2 or 3 things that you probably do need to be aware of.
Okay. What would that be?
Uh, above character, remind me what the name of the scout captain was that we killed. Is that Locks?
Locks.
Yeah. So, Captain Locks is dead. Mostly
Okay.
because she was siding with Mirrodin, and she may or may not have impersonated father for a brief bit.
Okay.
Also, the bigger deal, most of the keepers are dead too.
Okay. I've only been gone for 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Definitely took advantage.
most of that, gonna sound crazy, most of that happened in Remorse. We were in Remorse for a bit.
How did you get to carriage?
We found a magic door while we were chasing Mirrodin.
Sounds fun. Okay.
No, wasn't.
Well, magic door, new experience. I've personally never seen one, but
it was until everything afterward happened. Yes. So yeah,
okay.
we were at the keep in Remorse for a bit, and
oh, you at the keep?
you might know more. Yes.
Lightlock Castle.
Yes.
Okay.
So you might know more about this than I would. Mirrodin and his associates are very good at killing people.
Ooh, no, I wouldn't know that much.
Okay.
I don't know about his associates. Mirrodin is.
That's on me. That was an assumption.
Mirrodin, how do I describe Mirrodin? Mirrodin is if a snake and a cockroach had a child.
You know, I've been thinking very similar things, usually with a lot more inclusions of asswipe, bastard,
There have been I spent years after this, and she gestures towards everything, Lefton Hills. I spent years after this trying to get him to be held accountable. And every time I found a thread, made headway, the little bastard would snake off and get away with it. And then pop up somewhere else like a cockroach. The two of them mated. Do not like that man.
I very much do not either. And between you and me, when I get my hands on him, I'm going to be doing very unkind things.
It worried me to hear that you were recruited as a researcher under him on recruitment day.
I didn't want to be. I very clearly went to Locks and said I wanted to be a scout, but what I know now, I can see where I got derailed. What can you do?
He said pretty words. Yeah.
He's really good at getting in people's face.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Like anything good though? Did anything good happen?
Well, from what I'm all right at mathematics. The four of us, me and my little buddies here, we're amongst now the very few remaining keepers left.
She kind of looks at you like very squinty-eyed.
She just points to the pin.
And please do not take this as an accusation, daughter.
Go for it.
You didn't take that off a dead body, did you?
No, absolutely not. But I really don't feel like I deserve it, to be honest.
Okay. So who gave that to you?
That was what's his face? Which one of them was it that gave
Testing the note takes. Testing the note takes.
Was it Big Knock that gave it to us?
No.
If I remember.
Stevin's girlfriend.
Nope. She didn't.
No.
I thought she gave it to me.
She gave one.
Big Knock's the one that's dead. Big Knock's the one that's dead.
And I love how she's Stabbin's girlfriend, even though it was never official.
Like, what the fuck?
It was going to be.
Okay, I didn't actually write down which one of them gave it to us.
More Farron.
Give me a second.
Okay, yeah.
So many M names, bro.
I believe it was.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to make more A names, I guess.
I was dead at the time, so.
I feel called out. Yes.
I'll let you off for
me.
What do you mean? M names? I've got Aestaria. I've got Celeste. I've got. Well, I mean, Malora, Morfarin, but then there's Runewald, there's
Morfarin,
Mirrodin.
It's almost like there's only 26 letters in the alphabet.
There's like 3 M names, I believe. But you know what? Whatever.
That's all the people we have to keep track of.
Oh, honey, you don't even know what it's like being a DM.
I'm very visual, so like names are so hard.
I've got a list. It's long.
Anywho, it was Morfarin that gave him to us.
Okay, and he did that. I'm assuming
it was after The keep was attacked, and all the keepers there were unceremoniously ended.
So Big Knock, Morfarin, they needed to kind of refill their ranks, and you guys were there. So
It was also after, I believe, Big Knock was killed. Yeah.
He says it confidently, but he's looking at his notes, so I know he's
Okay.
not.
Did you know he had wings?
Well, it's a tricky question. Yes and no. No, until I met Celeste. Then yes.
Yeah, some of the others have wings too.
That would be her other brother.
That's as I've recently come to conclude. Yeah.
And where do
this-
you know where he is?
No, that's another reason we're out here. He flew off.
Okay. I guess we're kind of looking for him.
Did I cover that we came out here to get Mithril?
yes, you did. I can
feels really bullshit work to me.
I can answer the mithril thing for you, which is another reason I'm actually very upset with your father, because he knows the reason why there's no mithril. But I mean, I guess.
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Sure.
My guess, because during our investigations on the other side of the forest with all of them, it didn't come from them. It came from the forest, apparently. Shipments, right? My guess is it came from here. And as I look around, I can tell this place isn't sending anything out anymore.
Also, as you look around in the mountain cliffs, even though it's dark, you guys have, all of you, well, aside from Gregory, has dark vision. And even though the
Maybe we should give
moon,
Gregory the glass.
even though the moon isn't full anymore, it's still that like full-ish,
Yeah.
you know. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
light that's out there. You can see like dark portions of like in the cliffs themselves, that have like scaffolding that leads out and then down around, so you can gather that these are like mining tunnels and stuff like that. And yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this town isn't in a place to be able to export shipments anymore.
That's good guess. That's the mithril came from here. So
But-
did a lot of the other ore that Florin was
Speaking
used to.
of other ore, and you said it looked like her armor was made out of that
Yes.
wolframite stuff, but processed correctly.
Yes.
So, where did you get that armor? Because I met a very grumpy blacksmith that did not want to share any.
Your great uncle made it for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is his mark. And she kind of like, it's weird because it's like metal. So she goes to lift it and like her entire chest plate kind of lifts up a little bit, but there's a marking like where her hip is.
Yeah.
It's a small little marking. But she goes, yep, that's Korth's mark. Who's this blacksmith that you met though?
It is.
Bruce? No.
And his name is actually Wolfram.
No, it's not
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I
No,
know.
his
The gun
name
thing, I
was
really excited.
his name was Wolfram. He's in Kilnsworth.
Blacksmith Wolfram.
He's a mute.
I didn't visit him while I was there.
Well,
but you said
he's
he
decided to name the medal after himself.
Okay. Well, that's
I
good.
show her the gauntlet that he reworked for me.
She takes a look at it and nods. Admittedly, I'm not terribly familiar with blacksmithing and how things look. You were very much better at that than I was.
It's passable quality, nothing compared to what you're wearing right now. I mean, from our conversations with Wolfram, he barely seemed to be able to figure out how to process the ore correctly.
Oh, well,
I
that is
offered
tricky.
I offered to set up arrangements with him to get in communication with my father to try and send some that way to figure it out, with appropriate recompensations, of course. He was not having any of it.
Eric may not. He would figure out how to do it eventually.
I figured he'd at least appreciate the challenge.
Yeah. It's actually quite simple. Korg found you just have to pass electricity through it while you forge it. Or during the
Anaria has
process.
this look on her face of just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, it's about that simple. It's about that. Yep. I don't know why it works. Korg tried to explain it to me.
One of these days, you're going to introduce me.
Yes, definitely. Oh, I'm sure you guys would get along tremendously, actually.
Because in lieu of mithril shortage, an alternative must be found.
Oh, we don't mind. I mean, it's not like we have any rights over it. If this Wolfram wants to process it and provide it to the rest of Florin, then we can help him do that.
And that's kind of what I tried explaining to him, but he wasn't really having any of it. So another time.
Yeah. Well,
generally, I don't personally, putting my smithing tendencies aside, I don't terribly care about this mithril shortage. What I care about is that there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now that a lot of people need to be preparing for. I don't know what it is, but everything going on with Mirrodin cannot be good. So our people need to be as prepared as they can be.
That is yes. But here's the question. How do we prepare for something that is unknown?
That's what I'm trying to figure out and not find. Well, why I'm so frustrated. I keep trying to find answers and I just get more questions. Again, and people that don't want to even help give answers.
Well, that's part of what makes Mirrodin dangerous. Is normally the person or people who would know are either wind up dead or empty. Not themselves. Like Runewald.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this was, well, hopefully this was a good step. I still need time out here to determine exactly what he did and why he did it. And Celeste is going to help me with that.
Well, for all intents and purposes, we're not going back. A good chunk of our goal out here was to find you. So unless the others have big arguments, especially in light of what we learned recently, I think it's best that we stay and try and help.
Okay. That is your choice. Um,
I'm
I
at the end of the
don't.
rope, so to say.
If I had a better goal or something to steer you towards, I would, but I don't. I only know what I need to do, or what
I
I've
mean,
set out to do.
arguably, we've completed our task we were given on paper. We figured out why there's no more Mithril. Because the town's gone. They just,
Yeah, you did, and you did say that this was a task, a mission. Who gave you that task?
I mean, it was partly father.
Okay.
And once again, line up taking
Was
to
it
be
Shazara?
questioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shazara. Shazara wanted you to look for Diedrich or Mandrell.
Yeah. So,
Your father said, while you're out that way.
yeah. So, I mean, we were tasked out here to look for, the ones that went missing, said winged ones.
Okay.
That's our main task with the subtask of figuring out the mithril garbage. And all of our tracks have kind of just led us here.
Okay. So, to make sure that I understand correctly, you were given a task by a keeper, Shazara,
Yes,
who I am familiar with,
I would hope so.
to locate to locate Deidril, because you said Bicknock
Yes.
died. Bicknock, I believe, was Cedric. I'll have to confirm that with
Eh,
Celeste. There's a lot that's going
That's
on up there.
yes, that's kind of the same conclusion I've come to as well.
Okay. Um,
Ooh.
while you were doing this task, your father essentially asked as a favor look into the mithril, and
Mm,
I can only assume finding me was part of that as well.
yes,
Yeah,
my sword I have here was made with the last bit of mithril he had.
I'm very familiar with it. He made that years ago.
Oh,
Um, that was he made that. It was something that he always intended on giving you. I'm actually
mm.
surprised he waited this. Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised. This is Eric. I'm actually surprised he gave it to you this early. Anyways, I'm sorry. Um,
I
when
yes.
your father, um, do you have any way of contacting Shazara to report if when your task is complete?
Um, that might be a question for one of the others because I think we just have our tablet thingies, right?
Nope. She gave you a speaking stone.
She must have given it to one of the others because I didn't have one.
She gave the party a speaking stone, so someone has it.
Yeah. Okay. We
Un-
know of it. Yes.
Unless Perry took it and you guys didn't pick it up and burned it.
No, we've looted
Can
his
we
body.
pick his body before we?
We didn't
Technically,
really
I
say
have
what we
all of his
took,
stuff.
but
I have his entire inventory.
But she gave you a speaking stone.
Yeah, she gave us a speaking stone. Yes.
Okay. Old technology, but it'll work. That's
Hey,
good.
old magic is old magic.
Um, yeah, actually, yeah, she would have said old magic, not technology. Well, yeah, it works either way.
Same thing.
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm going to be spending some time here figuring out what was done. I don't know how long that's going to take. But I also have no leads for you when it comes to Deidril and where he went. It may be something Celeste could help with, but that would have to wait until the morning.
Of course.
But if you all do decide to stay, the help could be welcomed. I don't know. I honestly don't know where to start. Probably by taking or obtaining whatever was causing the undead in the first place and studying that, and then going from there.
Well, that sounds right up my new friend Gregory's alley.
Oh, it does.
Yes, he may seem.
Sword comes out of
Beautiful
space again.
sword.
I think we're on the same page now, actually. He might, when he's not snoring, sound like a nice boy. Can be a bit macabre when it comes to dead things.
Macabre.
He has a sort of interest
In dead things.
I don't know his, and this might be me telling more than I should, but I would hope I can trust you. He has, I guess, in the past made attempts, much to his mother and the entire governing council we live under, attempts to study, I suppose, forms of necromancy. To little success.
Can I correct that?
Sure.
He's making assumptions here.
Well, I don't know if... I thought I always tried to explain it that I was just trying to bring people back from the dead, not
right.
Not bring undead out, but bring people.
Yes, I understand what he said.
So in this world, though,
they're both kind of bad.
Well,
yes,
they're one and the same because nobody, aside from you losing unconsciousness, technically you're not dead. But aside from a keeper reviving someone who's a rejecter who rejects the Wellspring offering, which is pretty instantaneous, nobody's really done anything in the form of bringing anything back unless it was undead.
And mechanically, all the spells involved in bringing back dead people are necromancy spells.
Yeah.
Yes. She in this conversation, she's being a little bit flippant right now, so that's why she says it that way. Yeah, no, I understand. You're asleep. You're snoring.
I'm just trying not to wake up with a knife across my throat.
Well, I'm
maybe stop snoring.
I'm actually trying. Yeah, that's not helping the cause. I'm trying to work out what Aestaria would
response.
Do. Yeah.
Yep. Does her indecisiveness in figuring this out come across in her tone at all?
She hasn't said anything.
Or her body language, whatever. Like, I'm obviously noticing she's thinking about this, right?
I would say she probably she would consider, she would absorb everything that you said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if, she is your mother, but a lot has changed in the past 2 months.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you'd be able to read what's going on. Because I'm still trying to figure out how she would actually take that. And I'm going through her entire background to make sure that I'm actually going to be honest about it. Okay. Yeah. So she absorbs everything that you said, takes it in, gives it a good few beats. While while the rest of Florin is still unprepared for this, things have changed.
Yeah.
I don't know if what he's looking to do is good change. But I will set aside judgment. Even though everything is telling me to not joke about it and kill him this instant.
Traditionally, I would agree with you. But, and this might just be an inaccurate conclusion made by me, I think a lot has been hidden from the peoples of this world that should have been theirs to know by rights. I don't know where that line starts or where it ends. But a lot of damage has been done because nobody understands what's going on.
She actually chuckles a little bit, and that damned man.
I can't even talk to my best friend anymore because I had to hide the fact from him that his father was killed. And I don't even know where to begin on trying to repair that. That's one example. The lies and truths, or the lies and deceptions need to stop.
I think Theo is smart enough to understand at some point. And if he's not, I'll help you out with that. If you want to help. But
it's not a concern right now.
You are correct where it's not just us who lack answers, it's all of Florin. Much of what we know hasn't been wrong, but it hasn't been correct.
Veiled.
Yes.
Half truths.
But I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think we're the ones that are going to make the change. I think we're the ones.
Start somewhere.
I think we're the ones who will expose it, but I don't think we're in the right place to make it. Florin is going to have to make the change itself. We may be able to help it.
Well, I guess that's the best I can hope for. My soul is worth it.
It's one thing I've learned when I was in the Scouts. You can only control your own actions. You can't control what the others do. You can command them, but you can't control them.
You know, a cheese peddler once taught me very much the same thing.
So, okay.
How far into our watch are we?
Well, would you look at the time?
A rooster crows. There's a rooster alive here.
Yeah, with that, conversation just kind of dies down. You have a lot to think about. She has a lot to think about. The night progresses. The sun rises. Oh, well, wait. What the sunrise? I mean, it was late, but yeah, no, the sun would be rising. Yeah, 4-hour watches. Yeah.
Get a long rest.
Yes, everybody has a long rest.
Now, I have a shopkeeping question. Do I get my reduced stats back?
Oh, yes, for a long rest. Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. It's a long rest or it's greater restoration.
Damn.
I feel strong again.
Oh. Actually,
God, guys, I got so many spell slots back. 2.
Yeah.
2.
I got 9.
2. Somebody said it for me.
The morning arrives. Everyone wakes bright-eyed. Well, maybe bright-eyed. I don't know.
Bushy-tailed.
Oh,
But everyone awakes.
oh, I have a prank. I want to pull on Gregory to wake him up.
Okay. What would that be?
When dawn comes around and we go back in to wake everybody and begin our morning preparations, I'm going to pull one of my river stones out of my pack that I have the rune etched on it that allows me to cast Disguise Self. And
Okay.
I'm going to disguise myself to look like his mom, because I've met her. I know what she looks like.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk in as his mother and tell him to wake up and get ready.
When you apply the disguise self, as you walk in, Aestaria looks and goes, "Oh, haha, yes, I'm with you on okay." And you both walk up, but instead of you waking him up, Gregory, you are awakened, and the first thing you see is the face of Aestaria, and she says, Gregory, I have good news. Look, I found your mother.
What?
Good morning.
Mom.
I don't remember what accent your mom had, so good morning.
Mom, what are you doing here, Mom? How are you?
You know your mom's a traveling healer. She came here to heal.
Yes, I heard you guys you guys were all roughed up and, you just ran out without saying goodbye. So I had to bring you your stuff.
Yeah. But how would you hear that?
Out of curiosity, what's your purpose?
The pad doesn't work.
Your new friend, her dad
Huh?
came and let me know that you were leaving.
Her dad. And he told you where we were going.
He did, yes.
Oh well. So you're not mad or anything?
Oh no, not at all. A little bit of an evil look comes over her face.
See, hold on, let me see. I gotta see what I can cast here.
Insight check.
I'm waiting for something here.
I cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
It's a cantrip. It's a
Okay.
cantrip. It's fine.
And what do you do with the guidance?
I don't know. I'm trying to guide myself.
Oh, look at him. He's casting guidance on himself. He's so nervous.
Oh, they're always so cute when they're this age, aren't they?
Oh, yes. Just nervous at everything.
Wow, bro. Okay.
I don't know if I can.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
So I'm terrified. I'm shot. I don't know what to do anymore.
I'm making a short out.
Slots.
Again, I make a short out of Gregory's decisions. This is
Because I'm half tempted to cast blindness, deafness, and run.
Mechanically, so you mechanically, so you know what you can try to do. You can spend an action to try and inspect the appearance.
Yes.
And on an investigation check, you can determine whether this is a disguise or not.
No, Gregory's not ready for that guy. Well, I mean,
he's in shock.
It's not the first time my mom's showing up in this forest, but
yeah. So is Gregory like visual? Is Gregory
absolutely terrified of his mother? Yes. So.
Yeah. Is Gregory? Is Gregory visually panicking right now?
Gregory is visually panicking.
So
he
even
is
after
in the
what I
corner
did
of the
in the
room.
forest, he has no doubts that this is his mom?
I mean, you wake up and get shocked by your mom walking in the room. Oh wait, you don't
I'm
have
just
a
saying.
mom.
I'm just making sure.
When he starts panicking, and I kind of pick out that like he's picking around in his head for shit to cast. She'll let the disguise drop. She just has a shit-eating grin on her face. Good morning.
The disguise drops, and you see mother and daughter with the same shit-eating grin on their faces.
Oh, that is not funny.
Aestaria walks up, reaches down because I'm assuming you scrambled on your ass up against the wall.
Yeah, I'm up against the wall.
Reaches down, pats your shoulder a little bit, and says, "Welcome to the group, dearie," and goes off and wakes Celeste.
Oh. Gregory just kind of puts his hands over his face and just kind of just tries to process.
Get yourself up. Get your new armor on. We have a day ahead of us.
Yeah. Just
don't worry. Your mom is nowhere nearby.
Yeah, next time she shows up, it is going to be her though. I'm not going to believe it.
This is going to be a great day, and I can feel it already.
Gregory puts on his arm.
Okay. Gregory dons the armor. Aestaria awakens Celeste. Anyone else?
Warren, wake up.
Oh, all right. I'm up. That feels a lot better.
good night's rest.
I got super tired like immediately after we had that meal.
I can tell. You passed out with the bowl in your hand.
Oh, damn it.
Hey, it
Did
was
he
good.
eat all
It
of
was
it?
good
Face
cooking.
first in the broth.
How could something so little eat so damn much?
Hey, you should see me around some meat pies, man.
Oh, we've all seen you with the meat pies. Which unfortunately we don't have any today, so I hope you're fine with whatever we can scrounge up for breakfast.
Oh, of course, I'll eat anything.
You said you heard a chicken earlier, or a rooster.
No, that was
That was me. That was me above game goofing off. Like I don't.
I tried to bring it to life. Damn it!
I think this town is pretty thoroughly dead, including the chickens.
Aestaria begins prepping a bit more of the fire, kind of liven it up a little bit. All of you awaken, refreshed, a new day starting. She kind of pats her hands on her legs and straightens up. Right. Let's go ahead and scavenge around. We'll make a good breakfast, and then we'll get to doing what we're going to do. I'll figure that out
going to do.
I'll figure that out as we scavenge. And she turns and walks out the door.
All right, who wants to go scavenging with me?
And as she exits the door, you all see a fireball land directly on her.
What?
Nice.
And that's where we're in our session.
No!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back maybe next week. Hang on real quick. Let me look at the date. Because I know I have plans on the 17th, and the 17th is not next week. So
no,
that's the week after.
Yes. We should be back next week. Hope everybody enjoys watching this. We enjoy playing it. The last episode should be posted if I can't get it out later on, then it'll be tomorrow. But all right, I will end it with goodbye, good night, good day, wherever you are, whenever you watch this. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Peace.